Hello everyone. This video walks through completing Packet Tracer Assignment 2.3.2.5, Implementing Basic Connectivity. This Packet Tracer assignment is a part of the Cisco R&S Intro to Networks version 6 curriculum. Now, once you open up your assignment, making sure it is extracted and everything. You open up your assignment and you are presented with your instruction window as usual, and you have your packet tracer configuration window over to the left. In this particular lab assignment, we have two PCs and two switches. Both PCs are connected to the switch with a copper straight through cable. You see the green lights there. And both switches are connected to each other with a crossover cable because they are like devices. Now, in this step, it says perform the basic configurations on S1 and S2. We have went through these already in the previous lab assignment in Chapter 2, so please check out that video or complete that packet tracer assignment if you are lost there, because this does not give as detailed instructions for how to complete the activity. But we're going to go through it today too. So here it says on S1, we're going to click on S1, go to the CLI tab, and here we do enable or EN, and then we're going to change the host name to S1. So we have to go to configuration mode first, and then we're going to type host name S1, and you notice it changes there. It says verify the step 2 says configure the console and privileged exec mode passwords. So we want to use Cisco for the console password, so line con0 password Cisco, log in. All right. Then it says use class for the privileged exec mode password. Now remember, we had two different types. We had enable password, and then whatever you wanted it to be, and enable secret, and then whatever you wanted it to be. So I'm going to do enable secret class just because it's the secure option of the two. Remember, the other one stores by default in plain text, so I'm actually going to do enable secret class for this one. It says, how can you verify both passwords were configured correctly? Well, you can do a show run here, and you'll notice we've got the password Cisco here, and we've got a secret here, but of course it's encrypted, so we can't see it. All right. You could also exit back out and try to log back in that way as well. Let's see, configure an Motd banner. So that will be banner Motd, and then parentheses, authorized access only, violators will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Just make sure you close that parentheses, or sorry, not parentheses, quotation marks. So banner Motd and in quotation marks, type whatever message you want users to see. Now we want to save our configurations from the running config to the startup. So we can do a copy run start. Hit enter twice, and you have saved it. Now, of course, you want to save the assignment as well. Remember, this is inside Packet Tracer, so you do want to save the file as well as saving the configurations to the switch. Now, it basically wants us to repeat those steps for switch 2. Enable hostname S2. Oh, sorry, config T. Hostname S2. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. All right, hostname S2. What else did we do? Oh, line console 0, password Cisco, log in. Got to type log in there. Enable secret class. Let me take that E off there. And remember, you can always hit the up arrow and down arrow and scroll back through your commands that you've typed if you just need to make one little change like I did there. And usually that little caret symbol arrow will show where your typo was, or where it stopped recognizing what you were doing. Banner Motd, authorized unauthorized access only. Violators will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And I'm going to do a do copy run start here, so I don't have to exit back out. All right, so that's our switch configurations. Remember those kind of what I call housekeeping configurations is kind of like the general stuff, changing host names, passwords, banners, saving your configurations. All that stuff can be replicated on a router as well, not just a switch. Now we're going to look at how do we configure the end devices, all right? So PC1 and PC2. So if we click on PC1, again, this acts just like a real PC. We go to desktop, we have different programs like a web browser, command prompt. We're going to go to IP configuration. And this is where you would set an actual IP address. Now, sometimes you get it through DHCP. DHCP, we have not learned how to configure yet. We will do that in another course. Everything in this semester will be static. DHCP pulls an automatic address for your IP address, your subnet mask, and default gateway, DNS server, all that stuff from like a server, or in our case, we'll be using a router. Here we're just going to do static where we manually type it in. So we want PC1 to be 192.168.1.1 and a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Always double check your subnet mask. It does not always suggest the right one. Okay, always double check for that. Okay, now it says we want to repeat steps 1A and 1B for PC2. We do not have a default gateway here because we have not involved a router. If you look at our topology or our layout of devices, we just have a PC, a switch, and a PC. If we were to involve a router here and have two different networks, then we would need a default gateway. But that is a little bit later in a couple more chapters. Okay, so right now 192.168.1.1 and 255.255.255.0. Need both. Always need a subnet mask and a IP address is what it's called. And this is IP version 4. You notice it will be separated by dots. IP version 6 will be separated by colons. We'll learn about that a little later. Now for PC2, we want to repeat that, and up here we've got an addressing table that we're going to pull from for PC2. And we do 192.168.1.2. So they're actually in the same network, and I can tell that because the subnet mask tells you how large your network is, okay? But we'll get to that again a little bit later. So we type in our address here, exit out of that. We've got our addresses for both, our PCs, okay? So we got that. It says click PC1, close the IP configuration window, and we're going to try to ping the other this address here. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you it's not going to work, and I'll show you what it'll look like with it not working, because if you think about what addresses we have assigned, we've assigned 192.168.1.1, which is like the address of that computer, it's the IP address. So think about it in terms almost of like your street address or your phone number, right? How do we contact you? This is how you would contact that device, that other PC. We've done .1.1 and .1.2. We have not assigned .1.253 to anything. So when we do this, it's going to fail, right? I already know that just ahead of time. So in a minute, it says request timed out, request timed out, request timed out, request timed out, and it's going to show you 100% packet loss, 0% successful. That means none of them actually worked. So give it one more second. It usually sends 4 tries. All right, sent 4, received 0, lost 4, 100% loss. Okay, so what that means is we don't have any means of we have the PC can talk to this switch here, but the switches can't talk to each other yet. They need addresses as well. So for this one, we're going to do for switch 1, configure terminal, interface VLAN 1. Anytime you want to configure an interface on a switch or a router to assign the IP address, you do interface and then either one of those FA fast Ethernet is what it's called, FA00, FA01, all the way through 24, or whichever one you're doing there. And we're going to assign this an IP address. You can do IP add for short. So you actually do 192.168.1.253. You go ahead and put the subnet mask in there as well. And then we do a command called no shut. That actually turns the interface on, or no shutdown. If you do shutdown or shut, it'll turn it back off. Okay. The VLAN is actually a virtual interface. It's not a true interface, but it's kind of like one we need for this setup. Then I'm going to go over to switch 2 and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to get my address from up here. So I'm going to do interface of VLAN 1 and IP add 192.168.1.254, 255.255.255.0, no shutdown or no shut. All right, and you notice here I all of a sudden got a completion 88 out of 88. So everything that they're grading is completed correctly, but let's make sure we can also ping this stuff, okay? And also you want to do a copy run start to save your latest changes. You have to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my PCs. I'm going to go to command prompt. And let's try to ping the other switch that we did a while ago. So ping 192.168.1.253. The first time it may actually time out the first couple times, but if you see one that says reply, there we go. So the first one failed, but then if I try it again, you notice it comes back every single time. Okay, so I could also ping the other computer. Now that was pinging the switch. Okay, let's try to ping the next switch. So right now, we just did PC1 to S1. That's what I pinged. Let's do PC1 to S2. Because when you're troubleshooting, if it doesn't work, you kind of want to work your way across the network from device to device so you can identify where it actually fails. So now we're doing 192.168.1.254. Okay, it failed the first time, but now I'm getting responses. So if I try it again, I get all 4 responses. So that was PC1 to S2. Now let's ping all the way across to PC2. And we get a reply. Okay, now just because something works one direction does not necessarily mean it will work the other direction. In this case, it actually will. So I'm just going to go here and try to ping all the way across from PC2 to PC1, and I get a reply. So I'm good to go. Now, this will allow you to specifically ping, just like in real life, one address to one address. If you ever need to ping something in a very quick manner, I will show you a shortcut in Packet Tracer. There's an envelope button, and you can click from like one PC, click on the next one, and it'll show you right here if it's successful or failed. All right, so we see it's successful, okay? But that's just kind of a quick way. If you need to do like from PC1 to S2 though, or PC1 to S1, it's better to use the other ping function, especially with virtual interfaces. But again, either way is right, okay? So that concludes Packet Tracer Assignment 2.3.2.5, implementing basic connectivity. We went through the basic kind of housekeeping commands about passwords and everything, and then we went into configuring some end devices as well as the switches for IP addresses. So again, that concludes this lab, and you got 100% at this point.